Game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentle people. Kvoth playing flawlessly in game number 1. We'll see if Shadowfaxx can regroup here. We're moving into the map Mirage. Kvoth has basically given away what his strategy is here for Mirage, but we're seeing the players launch in right now, and we'll see exactly what's going to happen here as we see spawning in the bottom of the map, playing as the blue color. Game being paused by Shadowfaxx. You're going to see a veto of some sort. Okay, we're seeing a certain someone being a little bit salty. All right, no worries. We'll wait, and whenever we get going. But spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, not going with Kronos like we thought. Going with the LokI here. His name is Kvoth. His opponent today in the red color playing as Isis. His name is Shadowfaxx. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, I thought he would bring the Pharaoh over here to empower the dock up, but an interesting start here from Shadowfaxx. Okay, so we have to talk now because this is not what we expected. We thought we were going to see like what did I say? I thought we were going to see like Kronos versus LokI or Kronos versus Thor from like Shadowfaxx playing Norse. And where's that ball going? A little bit confused. But we thought we were going to see something completely different here. But Kvoth going with the LokI. He's getting his dock up over here. Shadowfaxx going with the Isis. So let's talk a little bit about this matchup and see what we can kind of learn here. So thing number 1 to think about. Thing number 1 to think about is LokI gets a crazy amount of extra food here. So going for like Hall of Thane's Herser or Heimdall Rush, both of these things are really, really strong. There's also a decent amount of hunt if you control the map. You get your Gazelle, you get your opponent's Gazelle. The map is also incredibly narrow. Like if you remember the last game on Competitive Mega Random, this map is even more narrow. So it's really, really small map in terms of the width, which means walling is going to be easy and all these other good things. So the fact that this is a really good Hall of Thanes map means that Shadowfaxx playing Isis might need to think about a completely different way to approach this matchup. Because normally Isis here is just going to want to go fast heroic through Nephthys, through Bast, through Nephthys, and do like Ancestors Eclipse timing attack of some variety here. But on this one against LokI, I feel like you want to stay classical age and spam Axeman and Spearman. And just go for like Anubis or something. And something completely crazy. But we'll see how it's going to go as the fishing ship coming out now for Shadowfaxx. I did see a comment here, which does make a lot of sense, where Kvoth may have expected Shadowfaxx to go for Kronos himself, try and go for the hard counter with LokI to go for a Heimdall Rush. So Kvoth might be taken out of book, as it were. I love that I just used the chess reference there. I don't know why. That makes me feel really, really excited. So Kvoth here getting taken out of book. Maybe Kvoth is really well practiced with a Heimdall Rush of some sort, not much else. Obviously, like Hall of Thanes play is fairly simple, fairly easy. But Kvoth here probably was preparing for a Heimdall Rush here, nailing the build order, getting it all set so he can put some good pressure on. Shadowfaxx is just going to be throwing him for a curly there, as we also see a Monument to the Villagers coming up. Shadowfaxx currently onto his berries over there, leaving the cows here for some reason. He's gotten all of his fishing ships out already. Probably doesn't need any villagers on wood anymore, but he's got 2 here to just get him up to a pickaxe most likely. And we'll see how things will result here as Kvoth is looking to advance to the next stage. He's got to garrison these fishing ships. Has he done so? He hasn't done so just yet. So he's a little bit later than he might like. Oh no, he's getting the Ox Guard out. The temple's not up just yet. I would have thought 4:30 would have been the aim here for Kvoth, and that was what it was looking like, but the temple timing just a little bit off from Kvoth. Meanwhile, Shadowfaxx here, I would have thought he would have had this one down. 4:30 here with Isis, especially with the boar here. Super easy, super simple. Just with a little bit of build order prep, but Shadowfaxx is going to be getting up his temple. Doesn't quite have the food just yet. Going to be going for a much later advance time, and we'll see how things are going to go. It's 4:30 already on the way. Going to start seeing Herser coming out, and Kvoth getting his walls down, seeing what he can do here to make this all work. He's going to be securing this location. I actually love that wall because well, maybe not obviously, but if I was playing in this situation as Shadowfaxx, I would definitely consider classical fighting here and trying to push off of this hunt, because this is the only location which the LokI is going to be able to get food from. I mean, also the monkeys, but if you go, if Shadowfaxx did go for like a 4:30 advance time with all those fishing ships, drops like 3 barracks and just spams in onto this location here with maybe some priests to boot as well, I'm not sure that Kvoth will be able to hold that one there. As we do see some cheeky walls getting thrown down over here as the Ursa not going to be able to get in here just yet. The town center will be able to defend this. Beautiful little play there from Shadowfaxx. He's going to be defending this one up. Do we see immediate purse scene here? I imagine purse scene will come through fairly early for both of these players. Lots of villagers on the food over here. Wood over there. Do we see hunting dogs? We actually see hunting dogs as well from Kvoth, as he's going to be throwing down some longhouses on the front over here as well. Do we see an armory coming? Oh, you don't have Bast just yet for Shadowfaxx. He's getting all the gold income that he possibly can here. And there's just going to be so many Hersa getting trained through here for Kvoth. He's got all the wood, I should say, in the bank here. So he's potentially going to be looking over to wherever the gazelle are and getting his 3.4048 favor per gazelle here. As the troll comes over, we'll see the Sphinx going to be able to get a couple of hits onto the Sphinx, as the Sphinx has to return back home. As we will be seeing these gazelle getting taken down, giving Kvoth his 10 favor to get himself Hall of Thanes. Barracks on the way now for Shadowfaxx as well. And we'll see how things are going to go. There is a beautiful gold mine over here for Shadowfaxx, really far back. He can easily defend it with like a Migdol stronghold and barracks and everything. It's going to be a difficult one to push off here, though like a flaming weapons timing push here from Kvoth might be really strong as well. As Hall of Thanes is coming through, we see Shadowfaxx getting closer and closer to the next age, as no pressure has been able to get put onto just yet, as we will be Spearman. Axeman coming through now for Shadowfaxx ever so slightly. It will slow down his heroic age, but he will be needing this as the wall does get up over here. The villager getting caught out ever so slightly. Shadowfaxx will be garrisoning that into the tower over there, as the Pharaoh needs to kind of jump off this and help throw some stones in and help defend this one. As we do see, it looks like the army here for Kvoth not going to be able to make its way through just yet in onto this location. Looks like it's not going to go down. A little bit of a misstep there from Kvoth as he has to retreat back. Meanwhile, the Sphinx now into the main base over here for Kvoth. One play here for Shadowfaxx is just to leave the Sphinx over here and then wait for the Hersa to like try and attack him while he's getting the Migdol stronghold up, and then Ancestors Eclipse the main base. I think that's sometimes the best way to use Ancestors Eclipse against LokI, is just to wait until keep a unit in like out of line of sight, ready to push in and get line of sight into the opponent's base. And then when the LokI attacks you, you drop your god powers. So we double Longhouse getting dropped down over here as Kvoth. Does he have his armory up just yet? It's coming down over here as well. So he's going to be getting a nice heroic age timing here to boot. Farms coming down here for Shadowfaxx as well, as Nephthys is already being clicked up. No real surprises there, as this is going to be a really, really interesting one. This is going to show a lot as to whether or not this map here is a really good ISIS map, a really good LokI map. You're going to have a very good insight, because both these players doing something that I would assume is going to be a really, really standard strategy on this map. There's no like crazy cheeses. We do see a dock coming down. Oh no, that's a troll over there. Wouldn't be surprised to see a cheeky dock coming down over here and then go for like some what are they called? Ramming galleys, Pentacontas, hammer ship, and build some hammer ships onto that location for when Flaming Weapons gets clicked. Because the idea is you can Flaming Weapons, attack this location at the same time, deal with that Leviathan here, which Shadowfaxx really shouldn't delete. Should just leave it there to help defend that back location there. But we'll see what's going to happen as the Sphinx now moving forward. We'll see if that Ancestors Eclipse is going to get dropped in the main base over here. As the Kvoth units moving around, we see Sultan 4 already grabbed here for Shadowfaxx, as the Migdol stronghold will come up onto this position. We've got 80 population for Kvoth to Shadowfaxx's 74 population, but he's getting himself chariot archers. He's got himself axemen already. Probably should continue to build axemen in this game, as the spy does get dropped down on this position over here. part of me feels like the best play here for Kvoth is actually to go straight Mythic Age and be looking to Flaming Weapons timing attack into a into Fire Giant with the help of the Nidhogg. Potentially, you can use the Nidhogg to raid the water as well. Wouldn't be a bad idea. As we do see that Sphinx hanging out onto this position as well, leaving a couple of those Herds in the main base for Kvoth. Kvoth, he's one step in front. I love that. Not many LokI players would be thinking about doing that here as the villagers moving forward for Kvoth. Where is he sending them? Potentially onto this gold mine over here, as he doesn't need that much food income anymore. He's going to be looking to get a whole bunch of those Herds and everything else. Didn't see any dock get dropped down over on that location. A little bit upsetting to see that, but it is what it is. And we see the Ancestors Eclipse getting dropped there to deny the Flaming Weapons from coming through, but now Shadowfaxx has blown both of his god powers here, and Kvoth has to retreat back here as we see the army coming in onto this position. That's beautiful there from Shadowfaxx. He's going straight after these villagers. The army over here is going to be distracting Kvoth beautifully. Kvoth not paying attention here. This is one of the, he does figure it out. This is one of the big weaknesses of the big pitfalls of most Asian mythology players is their ability to recognize they're under attack when a big event happens. And this is something that Shadowfaxx does incredibly well here. As we see, these units over here are going to get caught out. They're retreating back, just a little bit of dancing back and forth over here. We've got the chariot archers here, which aren't really going to be able to see this. Now we see Kvoth coming back in as the Ancestors Eclipse trying to move around the map, get some damage done. We see the Scorpion Men retreating away as this Sphinx is still getting some villager kills over here as the Hearths are going to be dealing with that one there. The army over here of Shadowfaxx needs to retreat back, but now Shadowfaxx getting caught out of position ever so slightly. Does he have funeral rites? No funeral rites as the siege works coming up. How much gold in the back? Not a lot of gold here. He's trying to grab this town center over on this location here as he's going to be dropping that one soon. And Kvoth is coming in now. He's very, very angry. Shadowfaxx, he might be finding himself in a very, very difficult position come very soon here as Flaming Weapons getting dropped. The units coming through the town center on the way. Army swinging around onto this top location here. The Pharaoh is low HP. The villagers getting this one up. The Battle Ball coming through here. The Valkyrie doing some damage, but Shadowfaxx's concave is too strong here. And Kvoth burns his Flaming Weapons quite literally as it looks like Shadowfaxx is going to be able to hold here. As we do see Shadowfaxx pushing out just a little bit, the Migdol Stronghold helping out a lot. We see the Priest able to snipe down the Troll there, picking off the Battle Boar as well. Villagers getting pulled back off of that location there as the Pharaoh going to be pulling into the Migdol Stronghold, empowering this one to get a bunch of double damage coming out of that Migdol Stronghold here. The Herso are getting a bunch of Myth unit spawns in on this position, plus a ton of favor income as well. Meanwhile, the Axeman over here getting some damage done. We do see some villagers coming through here as Shadowfaxx not able to make that work. His Pharaoh does go down. The damage has been done, but the attack is over now. Kvoth has to retreat back. He drops down to 70 population here as Shadowfaxx holds on, but is it enough to keep him going here? He's lost a lot of villagers, 32 villagers to 31. Both players losing a lot of villagers, so the villagers are going to come back over here and grab this town center. And now that the Flaming Weapons is out of the play, the Ancestors Eclipse is out of the play. We're seeing a little cheeky pause here. This is completely fine. It's something that just happens. But now that both of these god powers are out of play, what does this mean for the next part of this game? Well, Kvoth's next part of this game, he needs to get to the Mythic Age. He needs to figure out a way to get into Fire Giant here to hold and to get a good position here. He needs to think about a second town center, but he went for a really big one town center push there. And Shadowfaxx being able to hold that means so much because Shadowfaxx, if he can get to the Mythic Age here, goes through Osiris, he'll be able to get himself those mummies really, really early as Shadowfaxx is getting caught out a little bit here, trying to go for a raid with his units. Starting to see the siege towers rolling through, going to try and take out some units left, right, and center. These villagers over here still doing some nice stuff there. I wouldn't mind seeing another one of those myth units just sneaking around the side here to try and raid this while everything's going on. A little bit of favor in the bank here for Shadowfaxx could also mean that funeral rites could come through, as we still don't quite have that just yet for Shadowfaxx, but there's currently two ports of call here for Shadowfaxx. So one is he needs to set up a trade route or market over here on this corner or something like that. And two is and get to the Mythic Age. Or two, he needs to get this town center up and start pushing forward. Whereas Kvoth here, it looks to me like he is maybe overcommit. No, he's gone for the market. So he is going to go for the Mythic Cage here, which I think is definitely the right play. He's still grabbing food. He hasn't had to farm just yet. So holding off on that. Lots of wood in the bank that he could potentially sell here. He's still building units, though, which he might not need to. As the elephant's starting to come through. The priests are still very, very strong here. As Kvoth, if he wants to engage this, he needs to pull around the side here and get in onto this. As we do see the temple getting taken down while the City of the Dead is coming in to deny that. Nice plays. We see Hell now coming through for Kvoth as he's going to be retreating back, but that does mean that he's not going to have a whole lot of wood left. He did sell all that wood to advance to the next age here. These villagers are going to be retreating back, potentially over onto this gold mine here. We see the Hersa moving back home. Maybe he can try and grab a town center behind all of this. The Nidhogg here, potentially using it on the water here first, and then moving over here and trying to push off that gold mine or something. Wouldn't go astray, as we do see a temple coming down. Shadowfaxx still a ways away from getting to the next age here, as all the battle balls do get taken down. Kvoth, no favor in the bank, but we'll see how it's going to go. As the army going to swing around trying to find somewhere to attack here, as the hill fort getting dropped down onto this gold mine. I like that play where he's like finishing up on this gold mine, thinking about the next stage of the game over there. Another temple coming down on that location, but I think he kind of has to put the town center up first here, in all honesty, to really get something going. As Kvoth's units moving in onto this position here. Is he going to be hitting this house or not here? He is going after this. He's going to be going after the main base here. What Shadowfaxx going to do as a reaction to this? He's only got 3 spearmen here, and that's kind of a big deal. Only having 3 spearmen, he can't retreat back and deal with this. All these houses will go down. It's going to be a difficult thing to defend. And while that's also happening, we see Kvoth could potentially start attacking the farm villages over here. As we do see the Nidhogg getting dropped down onto that position. Meanwhile, Fire Giant does pop out over here. We'll be able to retreat away, but the houses all on this position will start going down. Meanwhile, Shadowfaxx says, I don't care. I know your villagers are out of position over here. I've got my chariot archers scouting this one through, as he sends 8 chariot archers over here to start taking this location out. And we will be seeing heavy raiders has come through for Kvoth here, as the hero is coming in onto this position for Shadowfaxx to deal with this. But the army of Kvoth going to be able to deal with this nicely. Meanwhile, the battle ball goes down. The Nidhogg going to get taken down. These military buildings going to go down very, very fast, as well as the villagers retreating out over onto this position to grab onto this gold mine. The Herso plus Huskal coming through here to try and deal with those heavy chariots. Shadowfaxx might be in front of the score here, but Kvoth is trying to make a game of it as best as he can. Meanwhile, the units taking out all these houses over here, going to really slow Kvoth down here moving forward, as he's 88 of 85 population. He needs those houses back up as the raiding cavalry checking out on this location here. We do see the Nidhogg getting pushed back now at 675 HP, and more importantly, Shadowfaxx is now 25% of the way through to Osiris here. As the house is getting taken down, Shadowfaxx is murdering head, grabbing his 3rd town center here. As we see the houses attempting to get thrown back over onto that location. Fortified town centers coming through now as well for Shadowfaxx. Picks that off. Going to move forward onto another position here as the chariot archers pull back. We'll turn around and get a little bit of damage done here, but he probably just needs to pull all the way back here. As we see the Pharaoh on this position. We've got the War Elephant coming through. The army coming back here for Shadowfaxx as the army turns around. Seeing that Pharaoh there, he might want to try and go after that, knowing that Osiris is a potential to come through to just delay that Osiris a little bit longer. As the army sneaking through over here, going to be going straight after those villages. Always, you have to attack where your opponent is weakest, and Kvoth is trying to figure out locations where his opponent isn't, utilizing the speed advantage of his Hersa, speed advantage of those raiding cavalry to get that damage done as best as he possibly can, as the army going to be retreating back here. Meanwhile, over on this location, we've got the Migdol Stronghold coming up for Shadowfaxx. He's going to try and secure this location. Shadowfaxx does realize that. His Pharaoh over here, a little bit low on the HP. Might want to heal that one up before he clicks Son of Osiris. Meanwhile, the raid over onto this location, but we do already have the Migdol here to help defend it. Garrisons nicely as the army going to come through to defend this one. Meanwhile, units getting pushed forward. We're going to probably have to start seeing some walls get through here as the Nidhogg coming in onto this location to take down the villagers, as the priest coming over here does a lot of damage to the Nidhogg. Does about 19 damage a second there as champion chariots coming through already. Meanwhile, Siege Tower going to clean up these side buildings over here. We do see some Hersa on this position over here, potentially a dock to get dropped down and hit like a late game raid onto that back fish there, as the Migdol Stronghold coming up on this position as well. Meanwhile, Nidhogg just hanging out on this over here. What is he going for? Looks like he's trying to make a retreat for it. Going to lose a lot of HP over here as it's flying over this wood line over there. Almost going down, to be honest. That priest does so much damage there. Meanwhile, Town Center finally coming up for Kvoth. Maybe too little too late. 38 villages. But to be honest, he's not that far behind Shadowfaxx in terms of villages here. It's actually still really, really close. Even though Shadowfaxx is on 3 town centers, Shadowfaxx has lost a lot of villages in this game. He's trying to come back. He's in front on the economy right now, but arguably, Kvoth can just, if he gets all of his town centers back up here, he needs to think about his next gold mine, but if he can get one more town center back up, he won't be that far behind. As long as he starts villages, he gets those dwarves going. He won't be that far behind in the economy. In fact, arguably, because he's Norse, he's probably actually in front on the economy right now in this game in terms of total resources. So we'll see how that's going to go as you see a market getting dropped down. This is a very peculiar market by Shadowfaxx. I actually like it. It's a decent distance away from his hometown center, and it's not going to be easily raided as the wall's coming up over there to defend that location. Meanwhile, units coming around on the side. Shadowfaxx going to be very, very careful here as the raiders spot this Son of Osiris out of position, trying to get the surround on them. As they barely get, is he going to get the surround? He's trying, and he does get the surround there onto that position as the spearman going to come through. We'll see if he can open up the Son of Osiris to get out, and he does manage to do so, but a lot of damage coming through there onto that Son of Osiris. As the mummy coming through here, we will be seeing the mummy getting taken down. Always got to be careful not to lose your fire giants there, as I think potentially Shadowfaxx misclicked onto that position as the Son of Osiris coming back through here. Shadowfaxx plenty of look at all the resources in the back. He's not spending his resources here. He needs more military buildings as the Nidhogg going to come through onto this position, going to take out some of those villages over there as well. What is Shadowfaxx doing? He's like AFK in this game as the chariot archers coming back. Villagers going to be retreating away from that location. He just needs to build buildings here, spam units in this position because he's going to give Kvoth the opportunity here to stabilize in this game. He's got the ballast as the ballast are going to start taking out that Son of Osiris, and now the Son of Osiris will have met its match. There is almost no position which a Son of Osiris can enjoy against Ballista from Norse if the Norse players also got units to surround the Ballista as they're moving forward. But we still need to see this town center going up here for Kvoth. He's still spending his resources really, really well in this game. The Ballista coming through. You just got to target that Son of Osiris. Don't get too close, though. As the Ballista going down, Kvoth sees the town center and says, why not go after that? But he's missed the opportunity to get some serious damage done to the Son of Osiris here. Shadowfaxx now retreating back. He's finally spending some resources, but he's still sitting at 115 of 169 population. Kvoth never dies is kind of the thing that I see when I play Kvoth. He never gives up. As we do see the units moving up over here. Barracks coming down for Shadowfaxx. There are still gold mines to retreat back to here, as well as the gold mine over here. This one over here available for Kvoth in this game as the Nidhogg coming through. The Pharaoh Priest, Son of Osiris, just the Pharaoh and the Son of Osiris, finish off that Nidhogg there as the catapult now starting to move forward. Shadowfaxx getting up to his 169 population. Kvoth sitting at 120 of 130 population as the villagers sneaking forward. They're going to move over here. We do see the attack in the main base coming through here for Kvoth as those Draka, that's what they're called, Draka coming through. We've also got the side builds coming through here for Kvoth in the top corner of the map as Shadowfaxx is struggling here to deal with this. His town center is under attack right now. Villagers repairing this one up. Another watchtower coming through. Do we have crenellations in for Shadowfaxx? No crenellations, but he does have fortified town centers and masons through. Meanwhile, the town center over here is going to be getting taken down. Shadowfaxx not retreating back for the time being, and we will be seeing Kvoth realizing he's not going to be able to deal with this one here. The mercenary out, the towers are getting set down, the raiding cavalry need to come back, and the town center does fall here as the army coming in onto the back location over here. Looks like the Son of Osiris may have fallen in this game as well, as the raiding cavalry pushing in here, going to take out everything. Oh no, Son of Osiris still alive. Is 63 HP, still staying alive with a very, very crazily here. Gets one shot off, but now the raiding cavalry surrounding that one, going to be able to take that down very, very simply here. 115 population for Kvoth to 149 population for Shadowfaxx. He needs to get his houses back up as they were taken down. Meanwhile, raids coming through onto the gold villages over here. Kvoth still's got himself 700 gold in the bank as the dwarves shanking away over here, but Kvoth's still behind on the population here. Those heavy raiders, doing so much damage to Shadowfaxx. The Shadowfaxx going to set up a Migdosh stronghold over here, try and control this location. He's got himself only medium spearmen here. He needs the heavy spearmen to come through on this location to deal with those heavy raiders a little bit better. But those elephant are also incredibly good in these positions as well. As more catapult coming through, you can sit underneath that Migdol stronghold and be very, very safe there. Meanwhile, we've got a barracks coming down on this gold mine over here, as the gold on this position here for Kvoth has got about 1,500 gold remaining there. And we'll see how it's all going to go. Meanwhile, it looks like this location has been dealt with. But look at the side build set up by Kvoth. He's building Fire Giant out of this temple over here. He's going to be going after this town center. I like that play, but does he have the time to set that up or not? Because right now there are units everywhere for Shadowfaxx, and Shadowfaxx is going to be going straight for the jugular in this game. As we see the mummy coming through, going to get a little bit of damage done onto those heavy raiders. I feel like from the ISIS point of view, you probably shouldn't spend your favor unless you see a Fire Giant here on mummies, because we do see the buildings coming up over here. The Fire Giant, he's got 2 Fire Giant up here, going for a third one. A little bit housed at this point though, as he's losing houses over on this location now. Meanwhile, raiding cavalry coming through to try and deal with those chariot archers over here. We do have the villagers over on this gold mine as well, as the side build has come through. Shadowfaxx can start spamming units out onto that position there. We see a house coming down here for Kvoth to get his Fire Giant through. Are 3 Fire Giant going to be enough to take down a town center is the big question here, as the middle town center going the wayside of Shadowfaxx as well here. As the mummy going to be helping defend this location. We do see the Herser are going to move straight in to take that one down, as those catapult are getting taken out. Meanwhile, while that attack is going through, we do see Kvoth moving forward with his Fire Giant to target this location down. The houses coming up over here. This town center is still getting close to finishing. The hill fort about to go down as well, as we do see this town center now coming up for Kvoth here. Meanwhile, we've got the villager spotting this location over there with his villager going to be idle soon. And we do see the Fire Giant. He's got 4 Fire Giant in on this position to take out the town center. The mercenary cavalry are not going to be it to deal with this. Potentially, Kvoth will find some value on that location here, but I imagine Shadowfaxx can just move forward, deal with this, just leave this town center here for the time being. Leave a catapult, set up a wall over here, catapult to prevent Kvoth from ever grabbing this one, as we are seeing some priests coming through as the raiding cavalry targeting this down over here. Meanwhile, all these buildings getting cleaned up as the villagers coming over onto this location here. The heavy raiders going to try and get a little bit of damage done. Meanwhile, spearmen coming through over here, as Kvoth going to be converting his Ulfsark onto that position. As the town center here trying to get repaired back up. Kvoth getting so much damage done on this position here. Meanwhile, the main base, however, for Kvoth getting targeted as Mason's desperately trying to come through. Town center over here just about to come up. Building still going down over on this position as the spearman retreating away. Needs to build some axemen to deal with those. Actually just needs 1 axeman. I think he can just delete all those Ulfsark very, very simply. As the mercenary cavalry coming through here to try and defend this position. Those Fire Giants still all relatively healthy here. The town center does fall, but the villagers have been pushed off of this town center here, as the catapult getting cleaned up over here. Kvoth is playing so scrappy in this game, trying to just do just enough damage. He's mining gold literally everywhere, using as many different resources as he possibly can in this game. 2 Fire Giants down, 3 Fire Giants down. This is huge for Shadowfaxx to secure this game, as the army pushing through here to try and deal with this, with these heroes and everything else. But it looks like the Fire Giant will go down. Shadowfaxx needs to just micro this a little bit here to deal with those human units with his own human units. But now the Pharaoh under attack, going to be able to deal with well, at least keep his Fire Giant alive here. Meanwhile, we do see some units pushing in onto this location over here. We've got 3 spearmen. We've got 2 chariot archers. Shadowfaxx still sitting at 145 or 169 population. This town center is still alive here. But in that moment, Kvoth does decide to tap out. Shadowfaxx manages to hold on here, as Kvoth can't make it work. To be honest, if Kvoth really wanted to make that strategy work, I'm not sure if Bragi is the play here. I love the idea of put a dock up over here. Put your second dock up, sneak it over here, and then put a third dock down here, delete this, go Njord, get yourself a Kraken out to harass the fishing ship, walking woods. Those types of things seem really, really good on this map. A little bit of craziness in the build though, but Absolute manic play from Kvoth. I can't wait to see more from him in terms of his LokI play because that was absolutely insane. But Shadowfaxx gets the dub, holds on here in this game. I mean, that's always kind of what it's like for that's always what it's like for Egyptian players. But well played here. By Shadowfaxx gets the dub. We'll move on to game number 3 very shortly. If you guys are enjoying this one, please consider to follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next game.